Final game that we're talking about here, it's the Cowboys at Raiders for Monday Night Football. You want to talk about the Cowboys or the Raiders here for this matchup?
I'm going to go with the Cowboys offense. And look, through the first 4 weeks, the Cowboys were basically the worst pass-protecting team in football, and we were talking so much about Dak being under pressure and his ability to thrive through pressure. Well, that's at least stabilized some on the Cowboys' offensive line. Since Week 5, they're 11th in the league in pass-blocking grade and 10th in pressure rate, giving Prescott more clean pockets to work with. That's good in this game because really when you look at the Raiders, Max Crosby's their only pass rush threat. As a team, they're 25th in pass rush grade. They're 24th in pressure rate. They've just had so many struggles aside from Crosby. It's kind of the story that's been talked about for years and years with this team. Who is the other guy? Malcolm Kuntz doesn't look great coming off the knee injury. Tyree Wilson's never really panned out for him. There's really no interior push at all. So I think as Tyler Booker's gotten healthy and back into a rhythm, you're going to see Terrence Steele matched up with Crosby a lot in this game. Maybe they chip Crosby on that side, double team him a bit. I think as long as they block Crosby, Prescott's going to have a lot of chances to bounce back from a tough loss to Arizona before the bye week, and I think this Dallas offense can get back to the rhythm that they had earlier in the season.
So as I was sort of researching things for the Raiders side of things, obviously the lack of a consistent wide receiver is tough for them. You have Brock Bowers, but outside of Brock Bowers, there just hasn't been a lot of consistency. Trace Tucker's still there, but you move on from Jacoby Myers. Jack Besh isn't involved in this offense. Deontay Thornton hasn't evolved the way that you have wanted him to as a rookie. Not that it's, a nail in the coffin for him. It's just he hasn't been able to hit the ground running as a rookie. And so it's been tough for them. It really has. So offensive line's been hit or miss. Ashton Genty has been hit or miss. Now, not all of that is his fault, but I just think that the run game in general has been sort of low ceiling for what the Raiders have. So I looked at Geno, and I was like, okay, well, let's look at Geno's side of things. I wondered how he was playing under pressure, because there are games when Geno has played well, but there are also just some real stinkers that the Raiders and their overall offense have put up, and a lot of that falls on Geno Smith's shoulders, in my opinion. So when I looked this up, Geno's got a 60.9 passing grade under pressure, which it's fine. 60.9 is fine under pressure. But what I found from Geno is that he's 19th out of 33 eligible quarterbacks, because I think I did like a minimum of like 75 dropbacks against pressure. He's 19th out of 33 quarterbacks in turnover-worthy play percentage when under pressure. So you go, okay, not ideal, but that's not horrible. Though what I really found that I think was a key stat here is that he's 29th out of those 33 quarterbacks in big-time throw percentage under pressure. So Geno, he's not catastrophic when it comes to putting the ball in harm's way when you pressure him, but his likelihood to give you a big-time throw is so much less if you pressure him. For as much as we have gone after the Cowboys defense this year for not being great, they have a top 10 pressure percentage of any defense in the NFL. So they are at least able to generate through blitzes or whatever it is, they're able to generate pressure on the quarterback. Now the back end hasn't been able to capitalize on that. They've given up a ton of passing yards, and so that's a separate issue. But if you could pressure Geno Smith, clearly he is not that same gunslinger, big-time throw type of a quarterback like he is when you don't pressure him. So to me, I think that that's a major disadvantage in this matchup specifically as well. It's been a major disadvantage of what Geno has been for the Raiders this season. I think this is a high-scoring game, but I'm going to go with the Cowboys here. I'm going to say Cowboys 31, Raiders 28.
To your point about the Cowboys pass rush, and it's been a bit better lately, especially. I'm gonna throw a stat at you here that a couple of them are just fun, and then one of them, the draft scout in you, is just gonna love. All right, so since week 6, all right, here we go. Cowboys edge rushers since week 6. Jadeveon Clowney, 77.7 PFF grade, 12th among qualified edge defenders. Dante Fowler, 81. He's played less snaps, but 81 PFF grade since week 6 is 8th among qualified edge defenders. And your guy, Donovan Ezeraku, the rookie.
Tell him.
How about a 90.2 over the last 4 games, second in the NFL behind Nick Herbig from Pittsburgh? Look at that. Donovan Ezeraku emerging. Some new, Trevor.
Dalton, what if we just drafted good football players? What do you think?
It's one of my theories. It's one of my theories I've had lately. Is if you
we'll have to work on it. We got to let it play out. But I think we should explore that draft strategy.
I got a new one. I got a new motto. Here's my new draft motto. If you draft good football players, they're going to be good at football. How's that one? We like that one?
Again, we got to test it out. We got to get a couple of draft classes under our belt with that motto in mind.
And we have to define good football player. We got to
see if it stands the test of time. But you might be onto something there. Might be it.
Good player. Where'd you have him again? 16th, was it?
I think it was. Yeah, I think I had his Raku. He might have been top 15 for me.
Good player.
Top 20 at the very least. But yeah, he was the player I thought the 49ers should have picked at 11 instead of Michael.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's who I think that they should have picked at number 11 is Donovan Izraku. But I'm not trying to go after a guy being hurt. Michael Williams, he was playing well as a run defender before he got hurt. Not trying to go after anybody. Just caping for my boy because I really liked Donovan Izraku when he was at Boston College. It's great to see him succeeding and playing well in the pros.